You know, when we set out to do a film like this, it's always with post-production in mind. We're always thinking about, even when we're writing the script, we're always thinking about what can we achieve? What can we pull off? What effects can we do?
We knew that like at least half of it was going to be on green screen.
Which means we're keying out that green. We're removing it, okay? You know, in other words, we shoot the actors in front of this big green sheet, and then we take that green out. We replace it with something else.
It worked out that we had a dirt lot next to us, and we used the green screen behind us to incorporate all the other Martian landscapes and everything around us.
First, we need to replace the green screen with a background. We do that by keying it out and adding our own CG background.
That's sort of the basic building block of post, you know, on a film like this.
Even when you think you have it right, it's never right. We did the stuff we thought we'd have to do for VFX, and now that we're in post, we're like, we could have shot this so much better. Or, you know, like, more preparation helps, but the problem is you can't prepare for everything.
The biggest challenge for the students on a project like this is always the scope. It's really easy to be super excited about a project up front and to have a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm on set, because it's a very visceral thing. You're on set, you're seeing it happen, you're seeing the camera move, you're watching the actors do their thing. With something like this, there's a lot of action, gunplay, real physical, real exciting. Then we get to the nuts and bolts of it. Now we have to get it all into the computer. We have to get it edited.
And when I started out, it was really, really difficult for me because it's all green screen. So I have to visualize everything. It's not like you see the cut and you just put it together. It's like you have to see what's in the film without actually being there because it's all green screen. So it's a little challenge.
Then we have to export all that stuff into After Effects and start actually getting rid of those green screens and rotoscoping and motion tracking and fixing problems.
But we don't have a huge green screen inside or outside to use. We got some bigger ones. They're fairly good size, but you know, with the scope of a project like this, it's really hard to fit all your action onto one screen. Especially, there's like the battle scenes, especially in this, where it's really action-oriented. People are flying around and shooting their guns and stuff.
A lot of the actors will step off the green screen, so doing the compositing work is taking a lot longer than I expected.
A lot of the times, green screen isn't always behind the character, so you have to roto it. It's just a little bit more time-consuming.
There were a lot of tough shots. There wasn't enough green screen. That's for sure.
It suddenly goes from this sort of self-contained 1 week of exciting production to weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of this minute work that requires a lot of patience and requires an eye towards what's the final product going to be.
Nobody move.
Basically, I have to work alongside Paul just to set down all the visual effects shots, decide what's going in them, what needs to be done, and then help distribute them out to everybody else. So it's basically up to me and Paul to figure out what we're doing before we hand it out to people who are just learning.
And it's really easy to sort of get lost in the woods during that period where you just go, oh my God, this is never going to end. We're never going to get to the end of it. And I always have to assure them, yes, we are going to get to the end of it. Yes, these shots are going to be awesome. And yes, you're going to be super proud of the project when it's done. Everything that we set out to do came to fruition. We've got a great script. We got great performances because we cast great actors. And then all the visual effects work and all of the blood, sweat, toil, kicking and screaming, rotoscoping, all of the agony of, you know, dealing with every little pixel that needed to be adjusted in this thing. It all comes together, and it's amazing.
It's like the best thing I've done so far here at UAT.
I've never had so much fun like learning anything in my entire life. Like I don't even feel like I'm learning. I feel like I'm just like on one big field trip.
I came here because I love this stuff, you know, and I know I'm going to leave and I want to be an editor or a director or something like that.
Most people who are in the DV program and do a film or two come out and actually end up getting jobs in the industry some way, shape, or form, whether it's just doing roto or film or editing, whatever it is. But DV program's the program to be in.
It's good experience. We keep learning every day, so we don't stop working, which is a good thing if you want to really learn here, and you know, have a career.
UIT is special because of the instructors. The instructors care. They actually put the time and effort in to get to know you and get to learn your style and learn how you learn so that they can teach you better.
UT is a real small school, so like you get to know everyone, and it's like a one big family.
I haven't had a single professor that I haven't been able to talk to personally.
The school supports us so much, so it's a really good program to get into, and it will lead to a really fun future.
When I watch something like this that my students have done, that they've spent so much time and energy, that they've put so much of their passion and their hearts into, and I see it come together, and particularly when we watch it with an audience, it's almost hard for me to explain how amazing that feeling is, to see that everything that they've put into it, and all the lessons they've learned from me and from the other faculty here, that it's all come together into something that they can now point to and say, this is what I did with my college education.